We are live on Proline TV for more horse racing coverage. That's right. It is the final step of the Triple Crown, the Belmont Stakes coming up in Saratoga. Jon Hardoon joining us as always. How's it going, John?
Good, Greg. How are you?
Doing good. So we gave everybody some indication on last week's show that we were going to have some changes here. And under a lot of research, consideration, and so forth, we've come up with our plan on how to program ourselves here and reach out to you, viewers. We appreciate everybody who has subscribed here to the channel and everybody else who has participated, including a few of them who have donated to the channel. So we're going to get into that. We also want to remind everybody that not only are we going to do the Belmont Stakes tonight, but we're also going to do the Woody Stephens. So we're going to be doing races 11 and 13 from Saturday's card at Saratoga. And John, there is a chance of rain. So we're going to have to throw that into the equation as we go through the fields.
Well, it's Saratoga, so there's always a chance of rain. But listen, it's hit and miss for the most part. But up here this time of year, it could rain every day, even if it's for a half hour or whatever it is. And you just have to deal with it.
All right. So now what I'm going to do is, before we get into all this, let me show you out there exactly how this is going to work regarding starting next week. So it's not in 2 weeks, next month, it's next week. Basically, this is the last show John and I are going to be doing on YouTube for free. So that's it. We looked through the analytic numbers. I talked to my partners, and the bottom line is, when it all came down to it, well, I think we were getting per video 0.8% of the viewers were subscribing. So we didn't even get 1% subscribing, and that's why we've told you for weeks and a couple of months how important it is to subscribe to the channel, because that's how we make our money here. And if we can't get subscribers people to just subscribe, which helps us to make a little bit of money here revenue-wise in YouTube, well, we've got to go to this format, which is going to be on Patreon. So I'm going to show everybody how this is going to work. Let me pop this up. Very simple process. Let's say you're on our page. Let's see. Here's the page. So here's Proline TV. So you're on our channel. You're watching our videos. And by the way, we are going to have shows every week on the channel that will talk about horse racing. It'll be a report, actually, for about 5 or 10 minutes. It'll be with me, and I'll be hopefully on with a special guest. So look out for that. Again, that is going to be every week, earlier in the week, before we do the show with John. So go to the Proline TV channel, and this is very simple. You see right here where it says join. That's all you got to do. It's right next to the subscribe button. So all you got to do is hit join, and there you are. You've got two options. You've got a win bet for $2 and an exacta box for $4. And I thought it was important to outline that just to show you how inexpensive it is. So for one $2 exacta box wager, you get all of our programming here on Patreon for the horse racing coverage for the entire month. Now, for the $1 bet, the $2 bet, I should say, what you get is this is what you get, including the most important thing is you get the video. So you're going to get 2 videos per month. And that's John and I, just like we normally do. It's not going to be live. It's going to be John and I twice a month going over 2 races per week. So that'll be 4 races, 2 shows. That's what you get for $2. If you'd like to double that, the exacta box angle, this is where we have our live shows. We're going to be doing 2 live. And then you're also going to get those other 2 that are not live. So you get 4. So you get, just like if you were getting on YouTube, you get 1 show per week, 2 live, 2 video, and you're also going to get the opportunity to enter the polls. And that is, I will put together like a list of 5 or 6 races to choose from. And then whoever is a member can decide which race they would like us to handicap. And whichever has the highest percentage, well, one of those races will be on our card that week. So that gives you a really cool opportunity to dictate which of the races that we provide for you in the poll. All right. So that's only with the exacta box option. And that's it. And it's real simple to sign up. and you get charged once a month, and that's it. You don't get any other spam. You get nothing else. And if you've been a Patreon member before, you know exactly how that goes. So, and you can always contact me via email, through the messenger options on the site, or just comment and let me know. But there shouldn't be too many issues. It's a very easily streamlined situation. And we hope everybody gets it. And we hope everybody, or at least most of you guys, will join us over on Patreon starting next week. Okay, so let's get right to it. And before we get to the first race, John, we talked about this off the air, John, and I just wanted how to bring this up. This was from one of our Twitter followers, or somebody that actually embedded our handle. He wanted us to know about this Gulf Chemie Park, and I think this is pretty interesting. He goes, the CAWs dropped the price on the winner 9 from 22 to 1 to 9 to 1 after the gates opened at Gulfstream Park. So he shows the video, and here it is. There's the 9 at 22 to 1. All right. You see, no minutes to post. That's it. They're ready to go.
Never mind. No minutes to post. 8 horses are in the gate.
Yes, they're in the gate. Look, the numbers are now off the screen. 22 to 1. And I'm just going to fast forward this so you can see exactly when they start showing the odds. There they are. Well, there it is. 9 to 1. Imagine you go 22 to 1, the race starts, and your 9 is out in the lead. All right, 9 to 1. It was 22 to 1 just 2 minutes ago, 1 minute ago. Anyway, the 9 won, I believe, in this race. And even though you want him to win, and that's okay, and he made some money, that's pretty weak, John. I mean, that's bad.
Well, instead of getting $45, you're getting $20. Just think about that.
That's terrible. So, yeah, I don't know. What else? Is there anything that any of the fans can do?
No, stop playing. Honestly, I don't know what else to tell you. They're chasing plenty of people away.
Viewer comments, Maurice Campbell, tell Jonathan I'm not in his business, but to get rid of that cold. By the way, did you take his notice and cough every time? So you basically is a little bit of and look, we appreciate anything that you guys can do to help us along the way, including give us a little tip on if you have a cold, what to do or what not to do. You said, let's see. To get rid of that cold and that cough, every time you cough something up, spit it out. Do not hold it in. Spit it out. Any phlegm you cough up, spit it out. When you spit it out, you get it off your chest. That's Maurice Campbell.
Thank you so much, Maurice.
Yeah, somebody who cares. Let's see. John, this is S. Martin, 3632. Do you think this Walsh trained 7-horse bounces in the 8th on Saturday? Well, I guess this was last week. Anyway.
And he did.
He did bounce. Jin is the name of the horse. Okay. And he says, I'm subscribed. So thanks, Sam Martin, S. Martin. Appreciate it. Victor Free, very good. Thank you. Let's see. And we only have 1 or 2 left. Let's see. Oh, Charles Badrock. Clement was an outstanding trainer. Very sorry to hear about his passing last week. The racing industry lost a true giant. Remember this Tuesday coming up, June 3rd. Which was a couple of days ago. You know what that date marks moment of silence this weekend at Santa Anita Racetrack. So
on Tuesday?
That was this past Tuesday, yeah.
They're not open on Tuesday, Santa Anita?
I don't know. I don't know where Charles is getting that unless they had, I don't know.
Maybe they had Memorial
Park.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Marty, do a show on learning thorograph and where is the best place to get thoroughgraphs. What's a thorograph?
That's our competition. Thorograph is owned by a fellow named Jerry Brown who used to work for Ragozin many years ago. And he went out on his own and he copied our product. And it's not even 5% as good, but I'm biased, so you're asking the wrong person. But all the major players use Ragozin.
And don't forget, as we said at the open, I'm sure you know, it's not that late for you to forget what we said. But next week when we do our show, there is going to be, 4 graded stakes races that are out there, including a couple at Monmouth. There's one at Santa Anita. And in a few weeks, it's a little slow again. It doesn't really pick up again until the week of June 28th when we have Churchill and the Stephen Foster. Okay, so
followed by the opening of Saratoga, and a week later, I believe, Del Mar. So you're going to get real busy in a hurry.
So that's so July is when things really get heated.
Correct.
Awesome. Can't wait. Let's see. Anything here? Yes, John Wise. By the way, John is somebody who did donate to the show. So thank you, John. Much appreciated. All right. Let's go ahead and get to it. We've got the first race that we're going to talk about is the Woody Stevens, John, grade 1 race from Saratoga. And
both races we're doing from Saratoga. But before we do the Woody Stevens, there's a major scratch that was announced this morning. A horse got hurt. Colaquil, the 7 horse, who I think had a major shot, but unfortunately he's gone.
All right. That was the horse that ran a 4 at Aqueduct in February and had been on a 2-race win streak. So Colloquial, we'll see where he goes next. All right. Well, there are still 10 horses.
On to the sidelines next. Let's see how long he's on the sidelines for.
Yeah. So this is going to be about 5:30 on Saturday, race 11, 7 furlong race, $500,000 for 3-year-olds. The morning line favorite, that's why it's a pretty good race, because the odds for the morning line favorite is only 4-1. So that shows you that there's a lot of options out there. There's no, really short favorite. And again, even though we have one scratched, there are 10 horses in the field, John. So pretty good card here. It looks like a decent race if we can hit it.
By the way, keep something in mind. There is a possibility of rain on Saturday. So we're handicapping now, but I am handicapping with a little bit of a possible wet track in mind. Listen, it rained for the Derby. It rained for the Preakness. Why not rain for the Belmont? Well, for those other 2 races will run over sloppy tracks, by the way.
And we are going to make it easier for you to communicate with us as part of our Patreon. So anything like this comes up, we could always throw you some sort of an update or something like that. So we're working on it. We're going to make sure that we have the best possible way that we can communicate with everybody, including after our show, because as John said, we never know, especially with the rain. We don't know if there's a late scratch. So we can always inform you of some updated analysis or something like that on race day.
By the way, Greg, I do check the bulletin board, on occasion. I'm pretty busy. And then when I see a question, I try to answer it. So I do the best I can.
Okay. Let's go ahead and start with the top 2 here on the field, John, in order. We've got the number 1, Big Truz, and the number 2 are both 10-1. So we'll start with the 1, of course, Big Truz.
By the way, this is race 11 on Saturday at Saratoga. It's race 11, and it is 7 furlongs on the main track. And I should tell them the right race that we're talking about.
Sure. Yes. I've already done this, but that's okay. We could do it for a second time just to remind everybody. And again, 5:30. So this is a perfect time right there on Saturday. What is this? About a good hour or so before the Belmont. Actually, an hour and a half before the Belmont Stakes, which will go off a little after 7. So we have Big Truz, the number 1, 10-1 shot, coming off of 2 really good numbers, John. His first ever race was just in April, ran a 9, and then came right back with a 7 on a sloppy track at Churchill. So 2 races, 1 win. Unfortunately, the one thing that you do notice, both on Lasix.
Correct, but we don't know that he needs Lasix. He ran on it. So, it's not like we have any races with him not having Lasix. The reason that I'll be using this horse, certainly underneath, is because of the price. He's 10-1. You're going to see that if you run a 7, well, that certainly puts you in the thick of things. Again, the question mark is coming off of Lasix and breaking from the rail at 7 furlongs, not always the best place to be. But again, price always prevails. If this horse is 3-1, well, I don't need him. But if he's near the price of 10-1, I certainly would be using him.
The other 10-1 shot is I think this might be my top pick, and that's going to be Matticat Road, Baffert and Velazquez combo. I like the fact that as a 2-year-old, the numbers were nice, 14 to an 11. This year, the first race, he bounced to a 15, and then 15, 13, 11. Everything was going good. All of a sudden, goes into the Pat Day Mile as the favorite, expecting him to be maybe single digit. Unfortunately, it was his first backward move, but it was a sloppy track. And he's no longer the morning line favorite or the race day favorite. He's now a 10 to 1 shot. So I kind of think this might be a nice little sleeper pick.
He has a chance. There's no question about it. But just remember, you're going to see other horses in the race that have already run single digits, and this is not one of them. The interesting thing about this horse is he has 6 career starts, 5 of them at different racetracks. First start of his life, he ran at Del Mar, then went to Santa Anita for 2 races, shipped to Oaklawn, shipped to Gulfstream, shipped to Churchill Downs. So this horse has no problem traveling. He takes his race, with him. It's not like a horse for course. That being said, I gave him a shot to run the 11, maybe a little better, but I don't think that's good enough in this spot.
And both of these horses, the 1 and the 2, are coming off of sloppy tracks, finishing second. So keep that in mind. The 3 is Macho Music, an 8 to 1 shot. Also running in that race, the Pat Day Mile won that race. And what was pretty interesting, John, is the horse ran at 8 at Tampa in March. And that was a 7-point new top. So you're obviously going to get a bounce. And that's exactly what happened. You got the bounce, but the horse still went out and won the race. So how do you handicap that type of situation, especially with the horse? I mean, the race was on a sloppy track.
Where they finish in the race means nothing to me. Why would that matter? I'm looking at numbers. I'm not looking at where they finished. There's no way in hell that I would have bet this horse last time out when he won. Not off of the 8, not off of the 7-point new top. Listen, I'm telling you the truth. This is a horse that I would never have bet last time out. And it's a very good chance that I will not be playing him on Saturday. The last 2 races are just too much development in a short period of time. As a 2-year-old, he had 4 lifetime starts and never ran better than the 15. All of a sudden, the last 2 races really came out of nowhere for the most part, as far as I'm concerned. I think you have much better options.
Okay. Next up is the 4 Patch Adams, 5 to 1. Cox and Saez also raced in Churchill on that day when it was sloppy, running a 7 in that one. So he's coming off the 7, same situation when he came off the 7 in November and bounced to a 14. I mean, the line was nice this year, 14, 12, and 7. But again, the 7 was just about a month ago. And as I said, the history doesn't say that it's going to be good after the 7. But, a horse that has run 2 7s is a good reason why he's only 5 to 1.
Well, this is my top selection in the race. I'm reading the sheet totally different than you. I'm reading it as a 7 as a 2-year-old. Then the 2 bad races, the 14 and 12, were both going long around 2 turns. What happened last time out when he returned to a sprint race? He got right back to the 7 that he ran as a 2-year-old. So I'm disregarding the 2 route races, 2 and 3 starts back. I see a 7 last year. I see a 7 last time out. Running a 7 as a 2-year-old gives you the potential to be running about a 5 now. I think this horse has a shot to make the forward move, possibly to a 5. This is my top selection in the race.
Patch Adams with Cox and Saez at 5 to 1. All right, next up, Citizen Bull, who has been a major disappointment after getting off to such a great start, winning the Breeders' Cup Juvenile race, winning the Grade 3 race after that in these really short fields. And then since April in the Santa Anita Derby and the Kentucky Derby has just been overmatched.
Well, his last race was 1.25 miles on a sloppy track in the Derby, so you could certainly draw a line through it. But you're right. The race that I'm really disappointed in is the race 2 starts back when he ran the 14. He ran an 11 and a 10 as a 2-year-old. He ran a 10 first out as a 3-year-old. And he had plenty of time off of that 10 to certainly run the 10 or better. And what happened? He went back 4 points. This is a negative horse. He's going to take money because it's Bob Baffert and Mike Smith. So they always take money. And this is going to be a good short-priced horse that I will definitely be playing against.
Yeah, it's nice to have some short price horses in the field if you don't like them.
Yeah.
All right. Big long shot here is T Craft, Mott and Lascano combo. And, may not be a bad long shot to consider, maybe third because 16, 14, and 12 this year, John.
Yeah, but he has no chance. I mean, he does have time off, and the line this year is fine. It's forward moving, 16, 14, 12. Problem I have with this horse is there's no foundation as a 2-year-old. And, I guess 30 to 1 is probably a fair price, but I don't want him. I don't want any part of this horse.
The 8 is Gunmetal, and this is an 8 to 1 shot. Another Cox trained horse with a Rad Ortiz Jr. 9 is a great way to start your career. Then bounces predictably to an 18, comes back to a 9. Now, this is not the same, a little similar to what went on with the 4, but the difference here too is the fact that big difference is that the 2 9s actually happened on Lasix. The 18 happened without it, but that could have just also been a coincidence because the 18 was going to be a bounce.
It could have been a bounce off the 9.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, this horse is a little similar to Patch Adams. Patch Adams ran 7, then the bad race and got back to the 7. So this horse ran 9.
Yeah, so you might as well take the 4.
9. So why am I betting a horse with 9s over the 7?
No, that would make no sense. All right. Neoquist, who ran in the Derby, did not perform well with a 22 and was really coming into that race doing nothing wrong. From an 18 all the way down to a 9 in the Florida Derby when he finished 3rd. But the Kentucky Derby can get a lot of horses, and this horse just had nothing. I don't know if he went too fast and then just petered out, the sloppy track, whatever the case. But Safi Joseph
wanted no part of the 1.25 miles. That's what it is. Draw a line through the race. It doesn't mean anything. Prior to that Derby race, he never did anything wrong. And that race was 1.25 miles, and it was on a sloppy track. So he has a legitimate excuse. He's 10 to 1. I will be using this horse.
And then we've got the 10, the morning line favorite, Chancer McPatrick, Chad Brown and Pratt combo, 2 for 2 at Saratoga. Those were the first 2 races of his career. I remember early on in the Derby process, this was one of those horses that, people looked at as a potential, Derby top contender. And all of his numbers are fine except for the 13 at the juvenile race. But it just, we haven't seen the 9s since last October and September. This year we've seen a 10 and an 11, and it's a short price.
Yeah, but here's the thing about this horse. What's strong about him is the 9s that he ran as a 2-year-old. Those are very good numbers at that time of the year. Not only that, he has 2 wins at Saratoga, the first 2 races of his life. He won at Saratoga. If it wasn't Chad Brown, I wouldn't be using this horse because to me, it's a little negative that he never came back to those 2-year-old numbers and he never improved off of them. But he does have 2 excuses. There were 2 route races around 2 turns. Now he's back to sprinting because even his worst race as a 2-year-old was a 13. And what was the 13? The 13 was around 2 turns also. So all his 2-turn races, really not very good. He's back to sprinting today. I don't like the 4 to 1, but I respect the connections and I respect the horse.
Okay. Yeah. The other thing too is those single-digit numbers were 9s, and we just talked about the fact that Patch Adams has 2 7s. Yeah. So now again, it was more of a similar track with Gunmental, but still the single-digit best the twice happened with a horse that is 5 to 1 against a horse that is 4 to 1. And then we wrap it up with Gate to Wire, the 11, Pletcher trained horse. This horse, look, he ran a 10 and a 12, the 12 at Fountain Youth, and then came back with a 16 at the Pat Day Mile. This is not an attractive horse.
No.
Nothing. Yeah. Okay. John's going with the 4, Patch Adams, over.
Let's use exactas with the 1, Big Truz, the 9, Neoquist, and the 10, Chancer McPatrick. 4 with the 1, 9, and 10, and reverse them small.
Okay. And I am going to go with the 2 over the 4, 6, and 9. 2 over 4, 6, 9. John's going with the 4, Patch Adams, over 1, 9, and 10. So again, that's going to be race number 11. It should go off about 5:30 on Saturday. And now we're going to go ahead with the Triple Crown race, the final one, the Belmont Stakes, a little after 7 o'clock. Oh, wait a second. What is this I find here on my... Oh, look at this. It's the channel, and all you got to do is hit join. Oh, look. This is how you can sign up. $1, $2 win bet, $4 exacta box. Don't miss our shows. We won't be back next week. So don't forget. If you have any questions, comments, just let me know. We're here to help. Okay, let's go. Because some people might have joined late. So don't forget, if you joined late, check the on-demand part of the show so you can check out what you missed. All right. 1.25 miles at Saratoga, unfortunately. And we have no idea how much longer this is going to go until we get back to Belmont, John?
Yeah, another 2 years. Next year, I'll bet they'll be here, and then in 2 years from now, they'll be back at Belmont.
Jeez, 2 more years. Okay.
What can I say? It's not the worst thing in the world.
I guess it could be 10 more years. All right. Now,
by the way, Mama's Gold ran on Wednesday. We tried to give him to everybody. He ran great. He ran second, but didn't win. But he still ran very well. So maybe people bet him winning place.
Yeah. And what was the horse? The third choice?
Mama's Gold, 4-1. Yeah, breaking from the rail yesterday, opening day.
It's a good start.
Fourth race.
If you haven't seen that race, check it out because Mama's Gold sure showed a lot of gumption. So that's definitely what you want to see. All right. John will remind us when the horse is running again. And of course, don't forget, that'll be on our YouTube membership. Okay. So we've got the rematch that we wanted. Sovereignty against journalism. And this looks like, and we're going to go through the whole field, but I don't know, John, this actually looks like this is probably be a 3-horse race.
Well, I have it basically down to 2.5 horses.
Okay.
And I will tell you in advance, journalism, who's the 8-5 morning line favorite, I do not like at all.
Okay, there you go. So let's go right into it and start at the top with Hill Road. Hill Road's a 10-1 shot. And Red Ortiz Jr., Chad Brown, nice combo. But the sheet numbers are just not very good. 13, 13, and 12 here in the United States.
But he's never done anything wrong. It's Chad Brown and Red Ortiz, but obviously he would have to improve 5 points to get in, and that's not so easy to do.
Yeah, he's been the last 2 races with Chad Brown running the 13 and the 12. Did win the Peter Pan Stakes with a 12. Okay. And by the way, has not seen any races here with wet tracks. So keep that in mind. But here's Sovereignty, who has seen a wet track and won on a wet track. And it just happened to be the biggest race of his career, the Kentucky Derby. And this horse has done nothing wrong. And I'm not nitpicking anything here. He's clearly going to be my top pick. And I'm looking for a 4 maybe, John.
Well, he's got one of the most perfect sheet lines you'll ever see. 6 career starts. He's never gone backwards in any race. And, he won last time out. Why would you not want to bet him? What is the reason that people would want to bet journalism over him? I don't get it. I don't
Favoritism.
Huh?
Favoritism.
Well, that's why you want to bet journalism because
that would be the reason. I'm actually saying
is that some sort of disease?
It's something that happens when if you bet on journalism and he made you money.
I may have a bad cold, but I don't have favoritism. So
that's good. Well, I wouldn't expect that because you're a professional. That's why professionals don't have favoritism. So, all right. I mean, Sovereignty.
Someone asked the question. Alex Garduno, or however you pronounce his name. I apologize if I got it wrong. He wants to know: can you join the premium channel from a mobile app,
yes,
or can it only join from a desktop? Can't find the join button on the mobile app on the channel. Thank you in advance.
Okay, I will. I don't know if I can show it here.
You can help him.
Yeah, I don't know if I could show it here. But
you don't have a phone, you have a desktop, but go ahead.
Yeah, well, I mean, I could show it, but I don't know how much it'll help. I'd have to check it out. In the meantime, let's go ahead and talk about Rodriguez. And Rodriguez, this is the Baffer trained horse who skipped the Derby.
He didn't skip the Derby. Well, he skipped the Derby technically, but he was scratched the day before the Derby, if you remember, because of a quarter crack, which is like a broken thumbnail. They gave the horse time to recover. The problem is there's something about him that just doesn't feel right. He's going to be speed. He does have a chance, obviously, because it's Baffert. And if he ran another 8 off of this line, I wouldn't be surprised. But an 8 may not be good enough. But for people that want to use the horse, you know, I may use him underneath, but I don't think he's good enough to win.
Okay, next up is the 4 Uncaged, a 30-1 Pletcher horse who has done nothing.
What he's doing here is beyond me.
Yeah, this is not, no.
This is Mike Rapoli wanting to see his name in the program, and rightfully so. He puts millions of dollars into the game, but, you know, a few days ago, they only had 5 horses in this race, so I guess people decided to jump in when they saw only 5 horses being entered. Yeah, he doesn't belong here. That's it.
All right. Next up is Crudo, 5 horse at 15-1 with Pletcher. Once again, Velasquez. The times are a little bit better. 13 and 12 in the last 2 races, which were both wins, convincing wins. But again, you're only talking about 13 and 12. The good part is you're getting 15-1.
Yeah, the line is okay, but he's slow. He's slow.
And then we've got now 2 of the big contenders here. Baeza, a 4-1 shot. We know what happened to Baeza when he was able to get into the Derby late, and he responded with a 3rd place finish. He ran a 7 in that one. And what's great about Baeza is not only the line 10-9-7-7, but he's coming in off of pairs, and they're both 7s. The horse is the 3rd choice at 4-1. And if Journalism does wind up as the favorite or co-favorite, and Baeza will then be the 3rd choice, that means those odds may not be too bad. So a Sovereignty Baeza exacta may not be too bad.
Well, that's the first punch I'm making is 2-6. But yes, there's nothing wrong with this horse. You know, he didn't start running on the dirt till this year because he ran on the turf first time out as a baby. The trainer does a terrific job, John Sheriffs. He was the trainer of the famous horse Zenyatta that everybody knows about. And he's a patient guy. He's an old school trainer. And this horse has done nothing wrong. And, you know, he's fine. But he's not as fast as Sovereignty. Listen, if Sovereignty wasn't in the race, I'd be all over Baeza. But Sovereignty's in the race.
Yep. And then here's Journalism. And Journalism, the 8-5 shot is coming in off of back-to-back 8s. But the pairs don't work here because he ran a 5 in March. And this
well,
is
the eights aren't a top. You know, that's
why I just said that, because he ran the 5 in March. So, yeah, I mean, this is a horse that ran a couple of weeks ago compared to the other 2 we just talked about, Sovereignty and Baeza, who were much fresher.
Exactly. Not only that, he's now danced in all 3 of the Triple Crown races. He ran in the Derby, he ran in the Preakness, and he's now running in the Belmont. And prior to running in the 3 big races, he also ran in the Santa Anita race, you know, three starts back. It's just too much racing in too short a period of time. Can he win? Of course he can win. But he's going to be the favorite, and he's not as fast as Sovereignty. Sovereignty beat him on the square, you know, in the Derby. Why would I want to bet this horse? It doesn't make any sense.
And then we have...
As the favorite, may I say.
Yes, exactly. And who do you think is going to go off as the favorite?
Journalism. He's the hype horse. They're all talking about him, blah, 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 blah. But they're wrong.
But, okay. I mean, I don't get it. Why are they all talking about him?
Because everyone was impressed last time out by the race.
Oh, because of how he won. Okay.
Yes, and he was the favorite, if you recall, in the Derby. He was the favorite over Sovereignty. People are giving him some sort of an excuse there, but I didn't see it. I thought Sovereignty beat him on the square.
Oh, well, he did. 100%.
Yeah.
All right. Heart of Honor is the last horse. And I guess the only good thing is The two good things is he's a big priced horse, and he's coming off a couple of 10s. He had a 10 in January. So I don't know if you think this horse has a chance to finish third.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking for tries and supers, why not? The interesting thing about this horse is that he is ridden by Safi Osborne, daughter of Jamie Osborne, the trainer. So you have a father and daughter combination here.
All right. So I don't think that we're going to be too off here. It's got to be 2-6.
I'm going 2 with 3-6.
2 with 3-6.
But my main punch is 2-6.
Yeah, let me see if there's another horse to throw in there. I guess if I was going to throw another one in there, I guess I'd probably throw in the 8.
Why not throw in the 8 at 30-1? Not the worst idea in the world.
Yeah, 2-6-8. So 2-3-6, 2-6-8. And that is going to be it for our free live or any sort of coverage here on YouTube. I have no idea when or if we'll be back here on YouTube as far as, of course, doing anything like this for free. But, it was a nice little run. We really appreciate the traffic, the interaction, and we just hope it doesn't go away. It's, again, $2 for the month, $4 for the month. And, again, for $4 a month, you get everything that we do that you've seen here, anything. That's it, just $4 a month. It's a very easy process.
Comes out to 13 cents a day.
and yes, and again, it's a $2 exacta box. So that's all it is.
13 cents a month.
Yes. So again, the next couple of weeks are not going to be big weeks.
Well, that's not true. Oh, okay. I thought next week there was some stakes. Maybe.
I don't know if we've ever done Delaware.
It's a tough track, but we'll do it if that's where
Delaware Oaks. What would we consider their best race? Would that be it?
That's probably that. Well, they have a couple of weekends a year. They have slot machines there, so they have big pools. Unfortunately, the field size for the most part usually aren't very big. The problem with that track is it's a very tough track to ship in and win. Usually, you need a work or race over the track. You have a big advantage.
Monmouth has 2 grade 3s, and Santa Anita has the grade 3 Daytona. So that is next week, 4 grade 3s to choose from. And that would be, for instance, right there, that would be, say, one of our polls that we'd put in next week, where we'd say, here are the 4 grade 3s. Let us know which one you definitely want us to go with. And then you choose the one, we choose the other. And we'd go from there. And then, by the way, in 2 weeks, you've got a grade 3 at Churchill and a grade 3, the Ohio Derby.
Mr. Guitar asked again, please show him how to join. So maybe
I'm gonna take care of that when we say goodbye to John.
And walk him through it and see whatever it is.
And the Ohio Derby is where? What's TDN?
Thistle Downs. It's a really small track.
The Ohio Derby. That's got to be their biggest race of the year, huh?
It is. I think it's a $400,000 race.
Okay. Anyway, so that's coming up in a couple of weeks. John, appreciate it. It's unfortunate I haven't heard you, with a nice, pleasant speaking voice yet in the past couple of weeks. So get over this cold.
Yesterday I was busy. I was almost fine till yesterday, and I was screaming down the stretch, and I lost whatever voice I got back. I lost. So see ya.
Your horse, I think, heard you, which is why he came back.
He ran very well. Very proud of him. No complaints.
All right, John. I'll see you next week.
Thank you, guys. Everybody stay safe and be well. And thank you again. And I guess no point in hitting subscribe, right? Well,
no, absolutely. 100%.
Right? Okay.
Yes. Keep hitting that subscribe button because that still helps us out.
All right.
Yep.
Sounds great.
Thanks, John.
Thank you very much. Be well, everybody. Thank you. See you, Greg. We'll talk soon.
Okay. You got it. Take care of yourself.
Thank you.
Okay. So now let me pop up because I was trying to figure out how to do it by the phone while we were talking there, but I couldn't do it. So, all right. So now I'm not sure exactly why you're not able to do it on your computer, but I guess some people nowadays might not have a desktop. Everybody uses their phone now for everything. So I get it, but I'll take a look at that. All right. So anyway, if you do have a desktop, all you have to do is, as you can see, this is the Proline page. It's very simple. It's right next to the subscribe button. All you have to do, see, here's our show that we've been doing. and you hit the join button. That's it. And it pops up, and you've got the options. You've got the win bet $2 a month option, which gives you members only videos, okay, and members only shorts. And again, bottom line, what that means is that, you know, we don't do many shorts here, but maybe now I'm going to, and I wanted to put it in there in case we do. So it could be something as simple, because those shorts will be 3 minutes or less. So let's say something comes up, there's something that I think is really cool to talk about, and maybe even John, and we put something together, and I can edit it out 1 minute, 2 minutes, or 3 minutes. Boom, it's now a video, and you can only catch it here on the $1.99 option. Now, by the way, these here also is what you get. You know, these are called loyalty badges, and basically it gives you also the option of being noticed as somebody who I've sponsored the channel, and I know a lot of people, and I'm a viewer myself on other channels, so I know how you like to interact with the owners of the channel, or be respected as somebody that has sponsored the channel, and that's something that gets thrown in there, sort of like, you know, like for instance, I'm with this one sports book. I use Bovada, and I just made, I guess I forget where I'm at. I'm at like this, I don't know what the level's called, like star level or legend level. I think that's what it's called. And so that's kind of what it is. It's like a identifying color that, hey, this particular person, I guess, should be respected because he's been here for a very long time. Anyway, that's kind of what that is, but that's not important. That's not why you're joining. The Exacta box, which is the double. Now, this one means that you get what everybody gets in the $2 tier, okay? Which means you're going to get any of those videos, and those videos are not live, and any of the shorts. So you're getting that, and you're getting our 2 other live streams. Now, the live chats are what comes out like we're doing here. That's what that is. So this way, and by the way, it's also going to be different, because now we're just not going to be, okay, yeah, we're taking your questions, but all right, it's time to go. John's got to go. We'll talk to you next week. That will be a situation where, let's say, all right, we're done with the 2 races. Okay, does anybody have any questions? And we'll sit here. John will sit there, and this will be the opportunity for you to ask questions. I know a lot of people have questions, whether it's about maybe you don't understand how to use the sheets, or you have whatever question is on your mind. That is the opportunity. You can do it, and it's every week that we're doing the live show. So that's twice a month. We have that interaction that's available on the live shows. And so that's what the live chats would be. The polls, we told you about that. And the shout outs, that's basically what we've already done. We've already done the shout outs, meaning, you know, we've talked to you guys about things like, we'll say, hey, so-and-so donated X amount of dollars to the channel. Thank you very much. That's really what a shout out is. So we already do that. And discounted merchandise. Now, I wanted to put that on there because at some point, I don't know if it'll be in a week or if it'll be a year, but at some point I wanted to put that in there because we are going to have merchandise. So we're going to have merchandise, and we still have situations where even on, if you take a look, I don't know, again, how many of you guys are football fans, but for instance, my partner, Mark Lawrence, has this magazine that comes out every year, the football, NFL college football publication. I mean, if you're into handicapping, gambling, whatever, football, college football, you gotta have to have this. So, sort of like handicapping horse racing without the sheets. You can't do it. So same thing. The information in here is priceless, and yet the price is pretty good for the magazine. But my point is that we would put together maybe some discounted merchandise, and here's some of our merchandise. So sometimes it doesn't all have to be horse racing related, but I figured I'd throw it in there because I think that is something that I wanted to put in there, and we will eventually have available for you. Okay, so that's how it goes on the desktop. And let me see. I don't know. Let me check my By the way, iPad. Somebody who said iPad? That was you, Mr. Guitar. Okay, I'll tell you this regarding iPad, and I'm going to check my phone just because I didn't notice that it was working. But my other partner, Jim Feist, we were going through different ways that we had to hook up. We had to hook up everything with StreamYard and make sure that he was able to get in and do this and do that. And, so we were checking everything out on the channel to make sure that whatever he sees, I see. But he's got the iPad, he's got the phone, and he has the desktop. The iPhone and the desktop were fine, but the iPad, no good. So I can't say anything about iPads other than all of my experience with iPads with the technology is not being good. So I don't know whether or not you need to have maybe you have to pay for something different to make sure that you have the right software on your iPad so it looks exactly the way it should look for a phone or for your desktop. But I just haven't had, this is another experience where somebody says, oh, my iPad doesn't have it. Oh, I don't know what to say. I just don't. But I can check the phone. I can definitely do that. And I'm looking right here, let me go ahead and pop this in. So this is, can I join on YouTube membership from my phone? Actually, let me do this. Okay. How to join membership on YouTube on iPhone. Okay, so let's follow along here. I'll follow along as well. How to join channel on iPhone. For a visit channel's page or watch a video uploaded by the creator. If they have memberships enabled, you'll see join button. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and check right now myself. So let's see. Let's see. Okay. YouTube. All right, so there's the show, but let me come out of there. Let me X out of there. Just go right to the channel. Let me hit videos. Let me see if it's available on another video.
Good morning, everybody. Money
tap
management,
that
bankroll
one.
management, expected value.
Okay, let's see. Okay, I'm not, let's see. Okay, so we're on the home page. And there's the video. Let's see if I do that. Where's the subscribe button? Let me see if I'm on the right one. There it is, subscribed. Unsubscribe, no. Okay, so let's see. So yeah, I'm not seeing it either. So let's see. Let's see. Tap this button. Yeah, I know, but there isn't the information. Find the channel you want to support. Look for the join button. If the channel has members, you'll see the join button either on the page. Tap the join button. Follow the prompts. Blah 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 blah. You'll need to provide your credit. Yes, to complete the purchase. If you don't see the join button, it could be because the creator hasn't turned on memberships, or you're not in a region where that. Yeah, well, I don't have it. Membership benefits is determined by the channel owner, and I have turned it on. Let's see. Let me see if I can figure it out. Might be somewhere on here that I'm not even seeing. View channel. Let's see. I'm going to try some different options. Let me go to another show. Okay, I don't think that's gonna, well, let's see. Share, remix, thanks, download it. No. I mean, the only other thing I could possibly think of is that we just had it start today. So I don't know whether or not it's going to, it needs another 24 hours. Obviously, it's there on your computer. It's just, I don't know why it hasn't gotten to the phones yet. Let me see. Actually, let me type that in. See what happens. Let's see how to join. Let's see, membership, YouTube, iPhone. I do not see the join. Option. The join button for YouTube membership may not be visible on all iOS devices and inside the YouTube app, even if the channel has enabled membership. Several factors can prevent you from seeing the join button, including iOS app restrictions. Okay. Channel membership status. The channel may not have enabled membership. Yes, I've done that. No, join button may not be available on all platforms. Let's see what this says here. Join, change, cancel, or keep channel memberships. Let you join a if you're in one of the available, that's not the problem. Channel memberships where you're right now. Once you're a channel member, explore how to use and manage your members. No, that was useless. iOS app restrictions. iOS app restrictions. I don't think I'm seeing anything else. Try joining from another non-iOS device, such as a computer or another phone. Desktop version, well, that's not the problem. Direct link. Ask the channel creator for a direct link to the membership page. Maybe I can do that. Let's see. But how do I do that if you're only using your phone? Ask the channel creator for if you can join using the link, even if it's missing. All right, let's see. Video demonstrates how to use channel. Let's see what this says. iPad. Oh, wait a second. Safari. Why are you telling me to go? Well, let's just stick with, I don't know if you guys have Safari or not. Most people don't, but people do. Thank you. Okay. Click the what? I hate when that does that. What is all this nonsense here? I can't, how do I start over again? There's no pause button? Oh, AA. Oh. Okay, so did you get that? Whatever this AA is? And you're not going to let me rewind here. Don't tell me I've got to. This is a pain in the ass. Look at these idiots putting all this shit up here. I can't even see it. Click the AA. Does anybody see an AA? Okay, so I'm going to go to my channel. Get rid of that. I have no idea what this person's talking about. I don't see no AA. Well, that's the. Oh, I guess if you do it that way by going in. Does anybody, I don't know if anybody followed them on that, but I didn't. see. Memberships. Nope. Okay. Didn't work. I don't know if it worked for anybody. Didn't work for me. No join button. Let's see. Yeah. Anyway, there is one example. I don't know if it's going to help anybody. Let me see if I could. I don't know how to send a link. How to join membership. Let's see here. By the way, I'm not sure if Shelly's still on. Shelly, you do understand that we're talking about $2 a month or $4 a month. And this is a show that has given winning picks for you to make hundreds of dollars during the course of the year. A lot of times that when you go on streaming channels, which I have probably about 5 or 6, whatever it's Prime, YouTube, and some others. What do you get for it? Well, you just get to watch stuff. And the same thing when you're using your money to purchase extra stuff on YouTube or whatever, you get to watch things. This is one of the rare type of situations where when you pay, we're actually showing you how to make more money. So in the long run, really, if you look at it, what is it? Let's say it's $4 for the year. So that would be $48 for the year. So here's the thing. If we are unable to help you make a lot more than $48 for the year, then it's not worth it because we're not really doing a good job. But as you know, all you have to do is been watching these shows for the past few months to know that that's not the case. We've been doing a really good job of making sure that you have this paid for. So, and you can actually look at the amount of money that you have to spend on like Equibase or something or any of these places just to get the forms and stuff. Once again, is that helping you make money in return? No, it's just giving you information. Okay. That's also why when we're putting our Patreon together, which we're going to have a Patreon. When we do that, then the Patreon is going to have all sorts of information on there, including bonus picks. We're going to have a contest on there for football contest, which is going to be a lot of fun where you can make money. The picks that we're going to have from our top handicappers are going to be there to help you make more money. Same thing. Can't join channel membership on mobile. Okay, let's see. Recently, I bought my phone. Redeem my I don't think this is the same thing. No. Does this help at all? There is no join button on iOS part. And the other one talked about the iOS app restrictions. But it says it works on Android phones, but not iOS devices anymore. You can use the link in the description to join his membership. Trying to think if I... yeah, you know what? Let me see if I can do that right now. Let me see if I can put a link. I don't know if that's possible. No, I can't do that until the show is over. You know what? I'm going to let me try to put a link in last week's show. Let me see if I could do that because I know where the link is and see if you can find that on the iPhone. So let's try that. Let's put this over there. I don't need that anymore. Let's go to the site. Okay. I got to make sure that I am on Proline. I don't think that's... Okay. Now, let me go to a video. And let me get the... Where's my email? I'm going to get the link. And I'm going to put it on one of those. So just give me a sec. Where is it? There it is. Okay. Wait, which one is this? This is the channel link. No, let me not. I don't want the channel link. I want the link. I know there's got to be a link to the. Oh, wait, actually, I think that was it. Let me go back. Let's just use that one, because if that works, then maybe the other ones will. Copy a link address. Okay, so which one? I'm going to go to last week's, which is the Blame Stakes. Okay. No, I don't want to do that. Or do I? Yeah, let me do that. No. No, let me go to the... There's two ways for me to post this link. I could post it either... I'm going to post it the easiest way so you don't have to go hitting the more button. Okay, here we go. Blame Stakes. Okay, so I'm going to do it right at the top. I'm going to put the link in. Okay, it's up there. All right, so I just put the link. Let me show you it. Okay. All right, so this is the link I just put in there. All right, so this is for the Blame Stakes. So let's go find the Blame Stakes on my phone. Which, by the way, if you're looking for it on your phone, it'll be under live, not videos. So any of our live shows are under live.
All right, we're live.
Okay. Now, where is it? Okay, well, that's that thing. Just a description. There it is. Okay. Sure to subscribe. Newest. There it is. Okay, so I have it here on the phone. Okay, so I don't know if you can see that. It's kind of too bright. You see the link there? Okay, so let me see what happens when I click it. Because it's basically, yeah, it's just right here. So all I'm doing is going to here on the phone. So if I click that. Yep, and there you go. It's going to the join. Okay, do you see that? Where it says join? And there you go. Wait, what is this? Did it knock out something else? Was that show the right thing? Let's do it again. Okay, so there it is. Hopefully you can see it. It's too bright. But that's the page. So just click that link. That might be the best way because I'm seeing the link and it's going right to the page where you can join. So can you try that? Mr. Guitar, can you try that? Anybody else had any of the problems? Alex Garduno. You know, I have a cousin. The last name is Gordano. Not the same as Garduno. So I don't know if Alex is still on or Mr. Guitar, but if you guys are still on, go ahead and check it out on your phone. Let me know, because that was available on my phone. And again, all that happened was I went to my phone, I found this link, and I clicked it. And it takes me, let's see. There it is. There's the membership. It's going to look different on mine because I'm the owner, by the way. But it will be there. So what I'm going to do is I am going to place the link on the once the show's over, I'm going to go to the on-demand part, and I'm going to go ahead on. I'll put it in both areas. I'll put it on the main comment section at the top, and I'll put it in the description area. This way you can check it out either way. And that's the link you're going to get. And it worked for me on my phone, even though I couldn't find the join button, just like you guys couldn't. So unfortunately, I guess Mr. Guitar is no longer here. And neither is Alex. And those were the two that really got this thing rolling. So there you go. It's the best I can do. I'll talk more about this next week. So there's again, I will be on the air early in the week. The whole plan is for me to go on a day or two before we do the videos with John. And then hopefully I'll be on with, say, another handicapper who will just give his, say, pick of the week, something like that. And then I will do something like this. I'll say, okay, don't forget, because a lot of people aren't going to get this on the first go around, or they may not even watch the show this week and expect something next week. So that's why I'm going to continue to do that. And I'm not going to go away from it. I'm just going to keep doing it like every week. That'll be a part of our connection to the horse racing show on YouTube. And the reason we did it on YouTube, and by the way, we are losing 20% revenue by keeping it on YouTube, because I could have went to Patreon, where we're going with the football tiers and some of the other tiers we're working on. We're going to have a lot of tiers on Patreon, but this is the one place that we figured, well, let's go ahead and start off here, because it's the easiest thing. It's the easiest way. All you have to do is hit that join button. And most people do have desktops. So again, there are going to be people that only have an iPad or a iPhone. And we just figured out the way that you can bypass that. For some reason, if the join button is not there, I'll make sure to promote that every week as well, in case everybody has the same issues, or some people have the same issues. And that's why I'm always going to put the link every week on these pages. And a matter of fact, I'll probably even put it on a lot of other shows, because you can go in the description area of some of the other shows we do on a weekly basis. Matter of fact, tomorrow, Jim Weiss and I will be doing another football show. We have so far, we've done the AFC South and the NFC South. And then we're going to be doing the NFC North tomorrow. And we're going to be doing this for the next 6 weeks. We're going to cover every division. We're going to take a look at week 1 lines, which are already out, Super Bowl futures, win totals, and go through each team, talk about their off seasons and what to expect from them. I know we're not even at training camp, but this is a good time to wager on football, because the lines are going to be a lot different now than they will be in a couple of months. But if you get the good information now, you can take advantage of it. We've already, we believe, taken advantage of some good stuff, and we've only done 2 divisions so far. So if you're into that, check that out. That'll be on tomorrow live at 7 o'clock, every Friday at 7 o'clock. And I'll make sure when that show's over, I'll put it in the description area of that video. And this way, It's always going to be there. And then once we open our Patreon, obviously, that's going to be in there as well. So we're always going to provide on every video, on everything we do on the channel, we'll have links to join memberships to YouTube or Patreon. So I make it as easy as possible. And I am going to do some homework on this, but it seems to say that this iOS application restriction is a problem. So I'll see if I could find anything else regarding that can circumvent that. I'll see what I can do. I will try. It's the best I can do is just try and see what I can come up with, because I don't have all the time right now to do it. I'm just trying to at least give you guys the benefit of the doubt and go for it with you guys, just like I normally would if I was by myself. But when I'm by myself, I'll have even a lot more time to dig into it and to use some other resources. So I'll do that and see what I can come up with next week. I don't know when. Could be Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, but it'll definitely be in one of those 3 days, probably Tuesday or Wednesday each week. And I'm gonna go for Tuesday. That's the day I'm gonna aim for. But we may have to do it Wednesday if, let's say, we have a handicapper on, and that handicapper wants to come on and he wants to give a pick, but he doesn't have anything. There's no information until Wednesday, and that's what we're gonna go with. Now, there might even be a time where we might not be able to go on until Thursday, but if we have a Thursday night show with John, as long as we're on early on Thursday, again, only because we don't have the information to make picks by then, if we need to make picks, then that's what we'll do too. But it'll always be before we do the show with John, so we can come on and give you an update, maybe even tell you what the races are going to be later on that night with John. And that's also going to give us an opportunity when we post the show. Same thing. You can back and forth, questions, comments, anything like that. And I'll be live when we do those shows. So that'll give you guys an opportunity to converse with me in any way you can and let me know what's going on. Anyway, that is going to wrap it up. Unless anybody has anything, which it doesn't look like anybody does. Let me just go through here, because I really have not been able to check out everybody's comments here. Just want to make sure. Yeah, I think we're good. Okay. Once again, the rest of the week, it's going to be just tomorrow night, because I think we're done with our football interviews this week. This week I did the Eagles, Dolphins. What else did I do? And that's it. We only did 2 this week. Okay. Next week, we got the Bears, the Packers, Arizona, and the LA Chargers. So we have 4 interviews next week, almost every day. And we have our Pigskin football show on Friday nights with Jim. Jim has his Playbook ATS show that he's hosting right now for Mark Lawrence. That's with Andy Isco on Wednesdays. And then Mark will be back in a month or so. And then Mark will host the show again. And then Mark will take over, and it'll be Mark and Jim and Andy on the Playbook show every Wednesday. And then once we get the football season, it's going to be that much better for football fans, obviously. We've got our NASCAR show on every week. I do the NASCAR starting lineup show, which gets good traffic, by the way, on Saturday. And then on Monday, we're going to have our U.S. Open golf preview. So I think we're scheduled to do that about 8:30, maybe, pretty late on Monday night. Jared is going to join me, and we're going to go over the U.S. Open. We're going to go over the odds, the course history, which Oakmont is a tough son of a bitch. The likely winning score at the U.S. Open this year is probably going to be over par. That's how tough this golf course is going to be. So we're going to talk about it on Monday here on Proline, and that's going to do it. So thanks for tuning in. Appreciate everybody. Again, I just hope you guys join us over there. And I'm not just saying that because of the money. Obviously, that'd be great. That's why we're doing this. This is what I do for a living. And if we don't earn revenue on these streaming devices, then we can't do this. This isn't like a hobby or something. And by the way, there are a lot of people who do channels like this, and then a hobby to them. They got a full-time job. It's a hobby. Hey, if it goes great. And if it doesn't, well, I've got my job. There are a lot of those people. And by the way, most of those people do it like that. But there are people like me that matter of fact, out of the partnership between me, Mark, and Jim, I'm the only one that is doing this full time. That's it. I mean, Jim and Mark, they've got their businesses and they've got all other types of things that they do for revenue, and they've been doing it for many years. And they definitely don't need this channel to earn a living, or else they'd be in big trouble. But the hope is that since I'm the only one that's putting in the 24 hours, 365 deal, that eventually we're going to grow enough. So then, yes, this is going to be something that is going to be well worth the time and effort that we put into it, because we have a lot of great plans that, regarding what we want to do with the channel. Trust me, if we're on here for another couple of years and things go really well, you're not going to recognize the channel. You're going to be able to go back in the archives, which will still be there, and check out 3 years ago and say, remember when it looked like that? Remember when they were doing it like that? That's exactly what we have in mind. And we have a lot of cool things that we really want to get to, and we will. It's just going to take time. It's one of those things that does not happen overnight. But thanks to viewers like you and people who subscribe, obviously, even if you can't afford, and I get it, I really do. I mean, trust me, when it comes to pinching pennies, I know how difficult it can be on a monthly basis to say, hey, it's tough for me to even afford, $5 or 10 bucks a month. I get that. I really do. But that's just, that's the deal, is that this is my business. And in order for us, especially me, but definitely me, Mark, and Jim, in order for the channel to succeed, it's either revenue through YouTube, through the ads, which we were doing, or it's you have to go to Patreon or do the membership deal. And we just weren't getting enough subscribers in order to compensate revenue-wise for it to make sense. Because the way it was going, it would have probably taken us about 10 years for it to probably revenue-wise for it to be about, I don't know, maybe we make about a couple grand a month. That's how long it was taking. And I'm obviously not going to take 10 years to split a couple of grand between me and Mark and Jim. So that's why we're doing this, and we hope it works. And the bottom line is we also hope that we can continue to get great information for you guys, winning information, so you can earn that money. And then this way, any money that you put into memberships like this will be a wash, more than a wash. Hopefully John will get better by next week. Looking forward to talking about what happened here on what's going to be happening here on Saturday, the big card tomorrow. Oh, and check out, we got the link in the description if you want picks, all of John's picks. He's got a ton of packages to choose from. There's loaded graded 1 races, graded 2 races tomorrow at Saratoga. So if you want to know how John's playing on all those, check out his packages. So we always leave links in the description for that. And if you want to know where they are, all you have to do is click this button here. That's it. These are where all the links are. So it's really easy. Sometimes it's like so easy that you just don't even notice it, but that's how you do it. You watch the video, you scroll down, you see it here. This is basically the gist of the show. And then when you see more, you just click more, and boom, there are all the links. It's a link to the NASCAR show, to the Baltimore Ravens interview, all of our interviews are on one page. If you just click here, again, we told you how to go here. If you want to track your favorite trainer like Chad Summers, click here. This is where you can pick up the sheets. This is where you can get a package from John. This is how you can follow John and myself. And there you go. So it's pretty simple. All you got to do is click that more option, and everything else pops up. Click less, and you're back to normal. Okay, so I'm out of here. Once again, thanks for tuning in, and we will see you. I'll see you. John's not going to see you here under the same format, but I'll see you next week on the Horse Racing Report, and then we'll let you know how things are going to go for the show next week with John. Thanks again. We'll see you next week.